You blend kale every morning. You load up on broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, the good stuff. You're practically photosynthesizing at this point. But somehow, you're still exhausted, still gaining weight, still freezing in a room everyone else thinks is warm. And your doctor says your thyroid is sluggish. Here's what nobody tells you: that green smoothie might be choking your thyroid to death. Not because vegetables are bad, but because your body thinks you're under attack and your thyroid is the first casualty. This isn't about ditching vegetables. It's about understanding what's happening inside your neck right now, because your thyroid has a job to do. Control your metabolism, your energy, your body temperature, basically everything that makes you feel human. And certain foods, even healthy ones, can jam the signal without you ever knowing. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which foods are sabotaging your thyroid, why it happens, and the stupidly simple fix that makes them safe again. Let's find out from the inside. Let's meet your thyroid. It's a butterfly-shaped gland sitting in your neck, and it runs more of your life than you realize. Think of it as your body's thermostat and speedometer combined. It controls how fast you burn calories, how warm you feel, how much energy you have, even how fast you think. Your thyroid is the overachieving middle manager of your endocrine system. It takes orders from the brain, the CEO, manufactures thyroid hormones like T3 and T4, your body's fuel regulators, and ships them out to every single cell. When it's working right, you don't even notice it. Your metabolism hums, your energy flows. You feel like a functional human. But when something interferes with production, everything slows down. Your thyroid is still showing up to work, still trying, but it's like someone switched off half the lights in the factory. Production drops, energy plummets. Weight creeps up even though you're eating less. Your body temperature regulation goes haywire. You're wearing a sweater in July while everyone else is sweating. Your hands feel like ice. Your energy crashes by 2 p.m. like someone unplugged you. Even your brain feels sluggish, like thinking through fog. Here's the thing: your thyroid doesn't just randomly decide to quit. Something has to jam the system. And for millions of people drinking green smoothies and eating raw veggie platters, that something is sitting right there on their cutting board. It's called a goitrogen, and it's sneaky as hell. So what exactly are goitrogens, and why does your thyroid hate them? Here's what actually happens. Your thyroid needs iodine to make hormones. Not want, needs. Iodine is the raw material, the essential ingredient. Without it, your thyroid can't manufacture T3 and T4. It's like trying to bake bread without flour. The oven's on, the recipe's ready, but the main ingredient is missing. Enter goitrogens. These are natural compounds found in certain plants, mostly cruciferous vegetables: kale, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, bok choy, the entire health food hall of fame. Goitrogens are the plant's defense mechanism. They protect against pests by disrupting iodine uptake. Problem is, they don't care if you're a caterpillar or a human. They block everyone. When you eat raw cruciferous vegetables, goitrogens flood your system. They latch onto the same receptors your thyroid uses to grab iodine. Think of it like this: your thyroid is standing at the loading dock, hands out, waiting for iodine deliveries. But goitrogens show up first, take all the spots, and stand there doing nothing. Your thyroid's still waiting, still trying to manufacture hormones. But the supply line is blocked. The result? Your thyroid compensates by swelling, trying to capture every molecule of iodine it can. That's literally what a goiter is: an enlarged thyroid desperately working overtime. But it's not just about size. Production drops, T3 and T4 levels fall. Your pituitary gland, the manager's manager, sees the shortage and starts screaming, "Make more," by releasing TSH, thyroid-stimulating hormone. Your TSH goes up. Your actual thyroid hormones go down. And your doctor says, sluggish thyroid. Meanwhile, you're confused because you're eating clean. You're doing everything right. Except your body thinks it's being poisoned by all that kale. But here's where it gets interesting. Not everyone gets hit the same way. And the fix is so simple you'll wonder why nobody told you sooner. But first, you need to know which foods are the actual problem, because not all vegetables are created equal when it comes to goitrogens. Some are basically thyroid kryptonite. Others, your thyroid doesn't even notice them. So before you start panic throwing out your entire produce drawer, let's identify the real culprits. The worst offenders are sitting in your fridge right now. First up, raw kale and bok choy, the green smoothie darlings. These are loaded with goitrogens called glucosinolates. When you chew or blend them raw, enzymes break those compounds down into chemicals that directly interfere with thyroid hormone production. One study found that eating just 5 ounces of raw bok choy daily for months caused hypothyroidism even in healthy people. That's one smoothie a day. Your thyroid wasn't ready for that level of health. The second offender, raw broccoli and cauliflower. Same family, same problem. Raw broccoli is basically a goitrogen delivery system. Cauliflower rice? If it's raw, your thyroid is paying the price. These vegetables also contain compounds that mess with your gut bacteria, which, surprise, helps convert inactive T4 into active T3. So you're blocking production at the source and blocking activation downstream. Double hit. Third on the list, Brussels sprouts and cabbage. Sauerkraut and kimchi get a pass because fermentation reduces goitrogens. But raw cabbage in salads or coleslaw, your thyroid notices. Brussels sprouts are sneaky because people think roasting them is enough. It helps, but they need real heat and time. A quick sear won't deactivate the goitrogens. Your thyroid needs commitment. Fourth, soy, especially unfermented. Soy isn't cruciferous, but it deserves a spot here. Soy isoflavones mimic estrogen and mess with thyroid hormone synthesis. Tofu, soy milk, protein powders, all problematic when consumed in large amounts. Fermented soy like miso or tempeh is safer because fermentation breaks down some of the offending compounds. But that daily soy latte, your thyroid is side-eyeing it. Fifth, cassava, millet, and sweet potato when raw. Wait, sweet potato? Not the cooked kind. Raw or undercooked root vegetables contain cyanogenic glycosides, another goitrogen class. Cassava is the worst offender, common in gluten-free flours. If you're downing raw cassava-based products daily, you're feeding your thyroid's worst enemy. The pattern here? Raw is the problem. Your thyroid can handle these foods. It just can't handle them unprocessed, uncooked, and in massive daily doses. Your ancestors didn't drink kale smoothies for a reason. They cooked their vegetables because fire deactivates goitrogens. Evolution gave us cooking for a purpose, and your thyroid remembers. So does this mean you can never eat vegetables again? Hell no. It means you need to know the one simple step that makes them safe. Here's the truth your nutritionist might have missed. Cooking deactivates goitrogens, not partially, almost completely. Heat breaks down the enzymes that convert glucosinolates into thyroid blockers. Steam them, saute them, roast them, boil them. Any method that applies consistent heat for more than a few minutes neutralizes the threat. Studies show that boiling broccoli for 30 minutes reduces goitrogen content by 90%. Steaming for 5 minutes cuts it by about 60%. Even light cooking helps. Your thyroid doesn't need you to char every vegetable. It just needs you to apply heat long enough to deactivate the compounds. But here's the counterintuitive part. You don't need to avoid cruciferous vegetables. You need to avoid eating them raw in large quantities. A side of coleslaw at a barbecue? Your thyroid doesn't care. 3 raw kale smoothies a week for months? Now you've got a problem. It's dose and frequency that matter. And if you're thinking, but cooking destroys nutrients, you're half right. Yes, some vitamin C gets lost. But here's what you gain. Your thyroid actually works. Your metabolism stays online. You have energy. You stop gaining weight for no reason. That's a fair trade. Your body isn't broken. It's just following the signals you're sending. Raw goitrogens everyday signal, block iodine uptake. Cooked vegetables signal, we're good, run normally. Once you understand this, the fix is effortless. You're not giving up health foods. You're just preparing them the way your thyroid can handle. There's one more layer though. What if you're already dealing with thyroid issues? What if you've been doing the raw veggie thing for years and your thyroid's already sluggish? The protocol to reset and protect your thyroid is simpler than you think. All right, here's your thyroid protection checklist. First thing, cook your cruciferous vegetables. Steam, saute, roast, or boil. Minimum 5 minutes of heat. If you're making a smoothie, quickly blanch your greens first. Drop them in boiling water for 60 seconds, cool them down, then blend. Yes, it's an extra step, but your thyroid will actually thank you with energy instead of punishing you with fatigue. Fermented versions like sauerkraut and kimchi are fine raw because fermentation does the work heat would do. Next up, don't go overboard on raw greens. One raw kale salad a week? Fine. Daily green smoothies with 2 cups of raw kale? Problem. Think of raw crucifers as a dose, not a lifestyle. If you're eating them multiple times a day, you're flooding your system with goitrogens your thyroid can't keep up with. Rotate your greens. Use spinach, arugula, romaine. Not everything has high goitrogen content. Variety protects you. Third, protect your iodine supply. If you're eating lots of cruciferous vegetables, make sure you're getting enough iodine to compensate. Seaweed, fish, eggs, iodized salt. These keep your thyroid's raw material stocked. Think of iodine as the antidote. Goitrogens block absorption, so you need extra supply to push through. Not megadoses, just consistent intake. Your thyroid uses about 150 micrograms a day. If goitrogens are stealing half, you need to account for that. Bonus tip, if you've been living on raw smoothies and you're experiencing symptoms, weight gain, fatigue, cold sensitivity, brain fog, get your TSH and thyroid hormone levels checked. You might need temporary support while your thyroid recovers. But once you stop the daily goitrogen assault, most people see improvement within weeks. Your thyroid is resilient. It wants to work. You just have to stop accidentally sabotaging it with health trends that weren't designed with your endocrine system in mind. Cook your vegetables, rotate your greens, keep your iodine up. That's it. No complicated protocol, no expensive supplements, just awareness and a stove. So here you are, finally understanding why eating healthy wasn't giving you results. It wasn't your discipline. It wasn't your genetics. It was a simple preparation mistake that nobody warned you about. Your thyroid wasn't broken. It was just drowning in goitrogens because you were doing exactly what wellness influencers told you to do. Once you cook your cruciferous vegetables, protect your iodine supply, and stop treating raw kale like a superfood, your thyroid gets back to business. Energy returns. Metabolism wakes up. Weight starts responding to your efforts again. Not overnight, but consistently. Because you're finally working with your biology instead of against it. Your thyroid has been trying to tell you something this whole time. It wasn't being lazy or stubborn. It was just blocked at the loading dock, waiting for a delivery that kept getting intercepted. Now you know how to clear the path. The factory's ready to run. The workers are still there. They were just missing their raw materials. Give your thyroid what it actually needs in the form it can actually use, and watch it remember exactly what it was built to do.